when new technologies come and that will replace the old technologies.
But most of the data that is not actually related to the service itself.
People literally enjoy the freedom of life. What they have in surveillance capitalism is free raw materials. The way we are communicating now, Google is going and reading our emails.
Surveillance capitalism and how the present capitalism is turned into the surveillance capitalism. So what is the basic concept of the surveillance capitalism? He starts with the idea that we are having a system, or we had a system that's called capitalism, proper capitalism, that we had labor, we had investment, and we had wealth to generate. But from that system, what was the capitalist system actually based on? The capitalistic system based on what they are going to do with that extra data. That is called their surplus or their profit. They will run their business on that extra surplus data. So she defined this idea is the behavioral surplus. So the surplus we got from the regular business, that's capitalism. The surplus we now get from that surplus data and information, and we run on business on that, that's called surveillance capitalism. That's the basic concept. So right at this moment, you have already mentioned that some of the biggest company, starting from Google, Yahoo, the Apple, and the Facebook, and all the mega Silicon Valley based companies extracting a lot of data, and based on those data, they are manufacturing their products. They are selling our data to ourselves. They're designing the marketing system. They're designing the advertise system so that they can extract our valuable information, and they can also make money out of that system. That's the basic idea of this book. So if on that ground, you can start Shakil, and then I will ask some question to KCDC about his experience there about this system. I have already some primary discussion about that beforehand. So this time, Shakil.
Thank you so much, Bhai, for nice introduction. I would directly go straight to the book. I'm going to explain certain concepts, which is, to my opinion, are new. So I studied capitalism, I studied economics, but there are some concepts here that people need to understand actually what this author is worried about. So if anyone reads this book, the first idea that the reader will get, which I got, is that there is something going on, which is with or without our consent or our awareness, that being used to control us. So that is her fear, and we need to come up with tools and techniques how we can prevent that. So she starts with this idea that surveillance capitalism. So in normal traditional capitalism, you have a business where you put your capital and labor. Using these two, you get a product. And according to the idea of Adam Smith, that each and every business organization should not possess complete information. There cannot be any monopolies. There cannot be any extractive institutions. Everyone will have equal rights to business. They will be able to come. There will be creative destruction happening when new technologies come, and that will replace the old technologies. So that was capitalism, idea of capitalism, and America has run until 2000 on these capitalism ideas. United States has got cheaper goods, development, and people literally enjoyed the freedom of life. Now, surveillance capitalism, this is a rogue form of capitalism where you do not have labor or capital in that traditional sense. They have people working for them, but not in this input of production. What they have in surveillance capitalism is free raw materials. What is the free raw materials in surveillance capitalism? Is our experience, like human experience. So what this form of capitalism is doing, that the business organization in this surveillance capitalism are taking all the human experience from the web, from the environment, from the network, from our society, using, let's say, using different services like Google Maps, using services like email, using services like giving you Home Nest. There are services like TV, there are like cameras. So all of these little points where we share how our life is, how we think, they take this, they remove this identification number, like they will not know that whose behavior is this. So they take all the information, they make it impersonal, but through using this machine analytics and machine learning, I convert all of this information that I'm getting to a prediction. And then I'm selling this prediction to whoever is giving me money for. So how did that? So that is what is surveillance capitalism. So in this way, we are getting these free raw materials from human experience, and then we are selling it for something. So they do not have practically, because they're not paying us for any our experience. They're not paying us for our input. They are just getting the information, and they are considering that as their proprietary asset, that this is our asset, and they're selling it to the people. So they're earning money from them. And the writer literally said this is a threat to humanity. We're going to lose our humanity if this continues. So that's the first idea of surveillance capitalism. What is a behavioral surplus? The free raw material. Like, we are using email or Gmail, and then we're sending information. After the function, the way we are communicating, now Google is going and reading our emails. I got surprised first time when I saw that Google is giving me notification, hey, you have a flight to catch. Hey, I didn't tell Google, but it went, saw my ticket, find out the time, and gave the notification. Yes, that was a good or bad experience. I was spooked, but that was an experience. So who gave the permission Google to read my email? So that's the idea here. That yeah, you are getting a service, but Google is getting these surpluses, this more information from you with or without your consent. So that is behavioral surplus, which is the raw material of the surveillance capitalism. Then another process is like, what do they do? How do they do? This is called a rendition, the experience to data. So they all get this data from different perspective, and then they use machine learning. They're using different points of like your location, your activity, then connecting this location and activity to a certain thing, that if someone is in that location, then he's going to, like if someone is in the beach, he's going to want a ice cream in the hot summer beach. So you need to go and sell ice cream to this person. So that's the experience, that's the rendition that people give these ideas to other people, marketers, and they are using this to influence our behaviors. Then future markets, then you have this big other instrumentarian power, that by which companies are literally changing humans' behavior by using this kind of machine intelligence. And the last thing here, I would say, to summarize all of these, that let's consider the whole economy as an evolving factory. So our life, if it's a factory, and our life, let's say, if we compare that as a tropical rainforest, our daily life, then our human experience would be that. And surveillance capitalism send robots in our life, gets all this information, and then feeds into a machine learning or AI, and then brings this prediction, and then it sells to other people. And it seems like something genius or innovative, but in a way, it is actually reducing our decision power.